At this hour, this is the show where our team at CNBC TV 18 gets you the top stories of the day. I'm Arundhati Ramanan and you're watching Reporter's Diary. Let's start with a quick check on Dalal Strait. The market started January series on a strong footing led by positive global cues. The Nifty flirted with that 10,900 mark but failed to sustain at that level. The index ended with gains of about 0.75%. The Sensex managed to hold on to that 36,000 mark despite selling pressure in the last hour. Surbhi Upadhyay joins us now with a wrap of today's trading action. Surbhi, good day for the bulls.
Well, pretty good way to end the last trading week of the year. In fact, a good day and a good week, we can say that. Gains that were widespread, so the Nifty's managed to go home with an up move of almost 0.7%. The good part is that buying was very well spread out throughout the large cap basket and even the mid cap basket, and the market breadth was quite strong through the course of the day, and we didn't see too many gyrations. We didn't see too much of volatility today. So let me run you through the stock movers. Great day for a couple of the jewelers, with Titan really leading from the front. Perhaps it's a rub off on the rise that we're seeing in gold prices, but Titan was up almost 5% as we were closing out. Sun Pharma and IOC were some of the other key gainers of the day. Good day for a lot of metal stocks, both on the ferrous and the non-ferrous side. So the likes of Vedanta, JSW Steel, Hindalco, all of them up between 1 and 2.5%. Financials continue to be a strong pillar today, whether you're looking at an NBFC like a Bajaj Finance or the banks. Yes Bank, of course HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank and HDFC itself. So financials, absolutely not a problem for the market. Now, what was weak then? Couple of names. Coal India was consistently down, ended about 3% lower. BPCL was on the other side. So divergence between how oil marketing companies have really traded today. And it was important to note the selling or the profit taking rather that was coming in stocks like Infosys and TCS. Towards the end of day, they started coming to ground zero. Mid-caps had a flying session, particularly in the second half in the afternoon. I'll give you some examples. Avenue Supermarts, almost 5% on the higher side. Lemon Tree, very strong and very consistent right from the morning. They've got lots of new ideas. They're setting up housing for students, housing for working professionals. So an interesting conversation with the management there. Reliance Capital and a couple of other ADAG group stocks found takers today. Sun TV was quite a mover, almost 5% higher. And Page Industries, late surge, but it's a big stock and it moves smartly higher. So all in all, great way to end the last week of 2018.
Absolutely, Surbhi. Thank you so much for all those details. Inflation is at the lower end of the Monetary Policy Committee's range, and therefore nominal interest rates need to commensurately go down. That's the word coming in from the Principal Economic Advisor, Sanjeev Sanyal. In a conversation with Lata Venkatesh, Sanyal also said that small businesses were facing real interest rate of 10% as he made the pitch for a rate reduction. The Principal Economic Advisor also talked about farm distress and stressed on the need to reduce the cost of capital for farmers. Here's an excerpt of that conversation.
We need to make sure that the fact that there is this excess is leading to food prices being under continuous pressure downwards.
That's right.
We need to deal with that. There are a few things that we need to take into account. One is we need to make sure that these food prices are held up in some ways, and MSP is one way of doing it. But also remember that the farmers are also facing very high cost of capital. So their output, which is food and other agricultural products, that inflation for that is essentially at zero right now. And they are all borrowing at more than 10%.
Yeah.
So the real interest rate for them is over 1,000 basis points. So we need to begin seriously about reducing the cost of capital. In fact, in some ways, this is the source, if you think about it, for the demands you see for farm waiver and other farm loan waiver, etc. This is the source of it. The cost of capital is very expensive. By the way, not just for farmers, for small businesses and many others as well.
Yes.
So this is one big area.
Like you said, that we've got a severe food disinflation, which has actually been surprising. One thought that MSPs would perhaps increase the prices. That has not happened. And now to add to that, we also have a fuel disinflation. So what do you look at in terms of, how much rate cuts can come? We already have a fairly comfortable liquidity with the Reserve Bank promising 50,000 crore of bond purchases December, Jan, Feb and March. To add to that, how much space for rate cuts do you see in 2019?
Firstly, let me clarify that this is really the prerogative of the Monetary Policy Committee. So I can't comment on exactly how much they should cut. but I can lay out the landscape.
Okay.
Basically, inflation is now running at the bottom of the range that the Monetary Policy Committee had been given. And we have now, it's just not something new, we have now had for some time inflation running at or below the midpoint of that range.
Opposite.
So inflation, I think, has structurally come off. I think it's fair to say that the old 7 or 8 to 10% range of inflation that we used to have, that has been lowered by some good, 500-600 basis points. So if that is the case, we need to see a commensurate reduction in the nominal interest rates. Otherwise, you have real interest rates running about the highest in the world. I mean, small business still borrows at 12 percentage points, right? Now, if inflation is running at 2%, that's 1,000 basis point
real interest rate.
Clearly, 1,000 basis point, at least an 800 basis point real interest rate for large parts of the economy. This is clearly not tenable because of a variety of reasons. First of all, this is a source of enormous financial stress to the balance sheets. So this is a major problem for small business, large business, for farmers. After all, farmers can also be seen as small business, and so on. It also causes stress on our fiscal side because the government is, after all, the biggest borrower from the system. So it is a stress on the fiscal side. But also, ironically, keeping high interest rates over long periods of time also increases inflation. This is something that economists tend to forget. That while high interest rates in the medium term lowers inflation, in the long run, high interest rates mean that you do not build capacities that you would have otherwise built, whether infrastructure, in industry and so on. So you end up with higher supply side inflation in the long run if you keep interest rates high indefinitely, irrespective of where inflation is. So I think we have structurally brought down inflation. We now need to take step 2 and structurally bring down the interest rates so that they are in sync with the new level of inflation. And that, when I say, when we have to think in hundreds of basis points. Now, exactly what trajectory the MPC takes, of course, is their prerogative.
On to a CNBC TV 18 exclusive, the government is tightening the noose around people who are evading GST by using bogus bills. Sources tell us that the government has tasked field officers to keep a strong vigil on tax evaders. We also learned that the government has made a few arrests in Delhi. Let's go across to Timsi Jaipuria for more details. Timsi, which states are seeing a rise in bogus bills? And more importantly, what is the quantum of such tax evasion?
Even as government is trying to meet the daunting GST target, tax evasion is something which has started bothering the government, and government has started taking action also against it. What we understand from sources is the fact that government has now tasked all the field formations to keep a strong vigil against tax evaders under GST, and it feels that bogus billing is one of the major areas through which tax evasion is happening. Pan-India government has identified about 10,000 odd crore rupees of tax evasion being done only through bogus billing, that too from states and cities like Delhi, Chennai, Himachal Pradesh, UP and Gujarat, which are some of the prime areas through which bogus billing is happening. Also, government feels that MSMEs are being used for this bogus billing so that they can claim refunds, which is an undue refund for them. And yes, not just this, about 2,000 odd crore rupees of bogus billing is currently under investigation, where government has also started making some arrests when it comes to the bogus billing exercise being adopted by the tax evaders. So let's see how soon government tries to catch hold of GST tax evaders, and what is the final figure, how much of GST tax evasion gets back into the system. Back to you.
The trailer of The Accidental Prime Minister, a film based on the eponymous book by former media advisor Sanjay Baru, has sparked a controversy. The Maharashtra Youth Congress has alleged that the trailer has presented incorrect facts on former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi in order to malign the image of the party. They have written to the producers demanding a special pre-release screening of the movie. The Bharatiya Janata Party, meanwhile, shared the film's trailer on its official Twitter page, terming it as a riveting tale of how a family held the country to ransom for 10 long years. Manmohan Singh was silent when reporters approached him for a comment at an event marking the Congress Party's 134th anniversary. Congress President Rahul Gandhi evaded the media as well. Meanwhile, Congress spokesperson Randeep Surjewala rebuffed reports that the accidental Prime Minister has been banned in Madhya Pradesh, now a Congress-ruled state. Surjewala tweeted, and I quote, "MP government has taken no such decision. Fake propaganda by BJP won't desist Congress from questioning the Modi government on rural distress, rampant unemployment, demonetization disaster, flawed GST, failed Modinomics, all-pervading corruption. Nation wants governance, not diversion." End of quote.
सर, आपके ऊपर जो फिल्म बनी है उसके ऊपर क्या कहेंगे? सर, आपके ऊपर जो फिल्म बनी है उसके ऊपर क्या कहेंगे? सर, राहुल जी, जो फिल्म बनी है सर एक्सीडेंटल प्राइम मिनिस्टर उसमें सर राहुल जी जो फिल्म बनी है सर एक्सीडेंटल प्राइम मिनिस्टर उसमें सर
फिल्मों को जो आज़ादी रहती है, जो आज तक आज़ादी की कांग्रेस बात करती थी, आज उसके ऊपर कैसे प्रश्न चिन्ह उठा रही है?
The Congress is saying that this is an attempt to malign the image of the former Prime Minister, and that certain scenes, which, because the trailer is out right now, should be rectified and corrected by the producers of the film.
I was a civil servant during those 10 years, between 2004 and 2014. During that period, I was ambassador of India to the UN in Geneva. I was ambassador to Brazil. You had a Prime Minister who was, you can call him nominated. I don't know whether that's fair or not as a characterization. But the real power center lay elsewhere. But if the film projects that, then, you will have to make up your mind on what it is that you are citing as reason to ban the film. I don't think there's any basis for banning. It's a film.
अगर वो सोचते हैं कि उनकी जो संस्था है या उनकी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी है वो सेंसर से बड़ी है, कानून से बड़ी है, तो इसका फैसला भी कानून करेगा या इसका फैसला भी उनके अध्यक्ष करेंगे। अभी हाल ही में मैंने राहुल गांधी जी का ट्वीट पढ़ा था जो फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन पे उन्होंने बोला था, तो आई थिंक ही शुड, उनको डांटना चाहिए इन लोगों को कि भाई आप गलत बात कर रहे हो, ऐसा नहीं है, फिल्म बनाई है। किताब पे बहुत 2014 में आई थी, आज 2018 है, 4 साल से पब्लिक डोमेन पर है। अगर उनको ऐसा, किसी को ऐसा लगता था, किसी को भी, तो दे शुड हैव फॉट दोज बैटल्स विद द बुक।
ये फिल्म बहुत डिग्निफाइड फिल्म है, बहुत ही रियल बेस्ड फिल्म है और बहुत ही ईमानदारी के साथ और बहुत ही ऑनेस्टी के साथ ये फिल्म बनाई गई है। और मुझे इस बात का यकीन है कि इस फिल्म को फिल्म की तरह से देखा जाए, इस फिल्म को बाकायदा एक पीस ऑफ आर्ट की तरह देखा जाए, और मनमोहन सिंह की जो जर्नी है, बहुत कमाल की जर्नी रही है उनकी, और मुझे इस बात का पूरा यकीन है कि फिल्म बहुत बड़ी सक्सेसफुल फिल्म होगी। पॉलिटिकल फिल्में इस देश में बनी हैं, बनती रही हैं, लेकिन मैं एज अ को प्रोड्यूसर ऑफ द फिल्म इतना कहना चाहूँगा कि ये फिल्म बहुत ही अलग है।
So how really is the Congress reading into this controversy? Pallavi Ghosh joins us now. Pallavi, Rahul Gandhi, they're evading questions from the media on this issue today. Does the Congress have a strategy to address this latest controversy?
Well, the Congress stand is very clear. Let's not get involved into a controversy and debate, which is why there was a clarification coming in from the Congress team that the speculation that the movie has been banned in Madhya Pradesh is completely untrue. The reason why the Congress really doesn't want to get involved in this, because they don't want that narrative to be shifted to once again the issue of Gandhi family being extremely, kind of very strong. In 2014, Narendra Modi had run an election strategy where he had said that it was a remote control ki sarkar. The indication also why the BJP could use this latest controversy to their advantage is by trying to point out to the people that if once again the Congress comes to power at the centre, or if it's a Mahagathbandhan ki sarkar, then it's going to be a weak government. There's going to be a policy paralysis, which one saw in 2009 as well as in 2004. That's one reason why the Congress wants to keep the focus on what they call the people's issue. Now, the counter-argument coming in from the BJP is that the Congress allegation that the movie is a part of propaganda timed with the elections is completely wrong, because it is based on a book written by an insider, Sanjay Baru being the media advisor of the then Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh. And therefore, if the Congress party says that the facts are wrong, these allegations coming in from the Congress are completely wrong.
All right, Pallavi, thank you so much for taking us through those details. Now, 3 weeks after the Bulandshahr violence, the Uttar Pradesh police has claimed to have made a breakthrough in the search of the prime accused in Inspector Subodh Kumar Singh's murder case. The police has arrested 26-year-old Prashant Nath for allegedly shooting at the cop. UP police has claimed that Nath made this confession in custody. With this arrest, the number of people arrested so far in this case has risen to 29. Meanwhile, in an interview with Network 18's BJP MLA Devinder Singh Lodhi has claimed that Inspector Subodh Kumar may have shot himself when the crowd charged towards him.
उसकी दिन जो घटना हुई उसके यहाँ कुछ दो गांवों के यहाँ किसान हैं, एक गांव महाप पड़ता है विधानसभा में और एक पड़ता है जो है चिंगरावटी, उसी से लगा नया बास है। वहाँ के कुछ ने फ़ोन किया कि ऐसे ऐसा है, यहाँ करीब 45 गांव के अवशेष मिले हैं और हम पुलिस को सूचना देने गए, वो हमारी FIR नहीं लिखी है उन्होंने। गोली वोली अगर इनकी मान भी ले जा, गोली एक ही जना तो मारेगा, बाकी तो बलवा में हो गए, पत्थर वत्थर फेंकने में माने ले जा सकते हैं। उस सबने सबका तो हथियार है ही ना, सबने एक साथ गोली चला दी, तो बाकी तो निर्दोष ही हैं उसमें। इनकी बात मान लीजिए तो एक ने चलाई होगी, एक ही तो गोली लगी हुई है इंस्पेक्टर साहब के, और उस गोली पर संदेह आवे कि गोली क्या लगी है, क्योंकि जो इंस्पेक्टर साहब है वो भी जो है एनकाउंटर स्पेशलिस्ट है, उन्होंने कई मार के अपने भी गोली मारी है कई बार, तो हो सकती है बचाव में जब उन्होंने देखोगे इसका गोली लग गई तो उन्होंने हमारी वो भी छड़के लग सकती है।
Welcome back. 2016 and 2017 saw some major disruptors in the real estate sector. Demonetization, RERA and getting used to GST. 2018 was to be the year of stability, and the hope was that demand in India's housing sector will rev up, sales will bounce back and commercial leasing will stay strong, along with new sunrise sectors like warehousing, which will add to the cheer. But has the year panned out as expected, and what does 2019 hold in store for India's real estate sector? Ashwini Priyolkar and Sohini Dutt find out.
Like every year, affordable housing remained the major theme driving the residential sector. While sales picked up in the top 7 cities by 16% compared to 2017, the average property prices remained largely static. The new launches across top 7 cities increased by 32%. According to the data by ANAROC, average property prices at the pan-India level saw only 1% increase in 2018 as against the previous year. The share of affordable housing or homes priced at under Rs 40 lakhs was a whopping 41%. In absolute numbers though, it was still under a lakh of homes launched by India's private players in the mid to affordable segment.
The residential segment, obviously, across the entire real estate sector has not been done as well as I would have liked it to be. But there is no doubt about it that we have seen in the last 4 months an increase in the business. So there is a positive indication for the business on the real estate side, but it's not across the board.
Large reputed developers did clock strong inventory uptick in the Dussehra Diwali festive season, but the rev up in sales was not uniform across the board. The elephant in the room still remained the unsold inventory of 6 lakh plus units across the top 8 cities. What's more, RERA rollout in most states didn't really dent the relayed projects number in any significant way. According to Lysis Forest, we are closing 2018 with 5.86 lakh units delayed for more than 24 months. The year also concluded with the fear that this number could rise further now that non-banking finance companies have slowed down their lending to the sector.
The developers so far were sustaining through capitalization or through more money from the NBFC or loans rather than sales proceed. Right. So it's important for them to increase the sales. And to increase the sales, the price is the biggest barrier. NBFC crisis which has emerged, actually I would say that this can probably may trigger a price correction if the more capitalization doesn't take place.
While the private sector is grappling with its own challenges, the government claims remains upbeat. The housing minister says that his government is on track to meet housing for all goal way before the deadline of 2022. Data accessed by CNBC TV18 shows that only 12 lakh homes have been completed so far. That is just 12% of the targeted 1 crore homes. The figures highlighted by the government are 65 lakh homes sanctioned so far under PMAY.
Move out of the housing sector and you see that India's real estate did have its moments of joy. The buoyance in India's commercial and office space was definitely the silver lining. ANAROC reports total office absorption across the top 7 cities is geared to cross 39 million square feet in 2018, given that 28.2 million square feet were absorbed until the third quarter. This denotes an annual increase of 19% in absorption. And if the trend stays strong, the country can look forward to its first REITs listing in 2019, giving the developers the much needed liquidity through this asset monetization route.
I would say over a period of last 5 years, the commercial real estate has seen fair bit of stability and growth as well. If you look at the numbers, 9 months ending in September 2018, the sector has seen a growth of 18%. It's largely driven because of the economic growth that we are witnessing in the country, the demand for category office, and a very low vacancy that we are seeing.
As 2018 comes to an end, it's quite clear that India's real estate is far from what you can term as stable, because all the king's horses and king's men could not put Humpty together again, which in our context is the residential sector, which makes up for almost 80% of India's real estate. In Mumbai, Ashwini Priyorkar.
With that, it is a wrap on this edition of Reporter's Diary. Many thanks for watching.